Let's move over to the Chicago Cubs and Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks looked like his 2016 self tonight against the Pirates, firing 6 scoreless innings in the Cubs' victory after looking sluggish in his first 3 starts to the year. Coming in, the Cubs are averaging close to about 9 runs a game over their last 6. Tonight, they only needed 1. Do you think this Cubs team is starting to get back into the swing of things like we saw them a year ago?
It feels like it. And look, not a surprise that it feeds off of the starting pitching. They led the National League in ERA for starting pitching last year. And their starters have struggled a bit. It's been a bit hit and miss so far this season between Arrieta and Lester and Brett Anderson kind of getting dinged around and John Lackey a little bit. They needed Kyle Hendricks to settle in. The big challenge for Hendricks so far has been the velocity differential. His fastball velocity down a tick from last year, and it made the differential between his changeup and his fastball that much closer together, where hitters had an easier time waiting on that changeup and putting it in play. Tonight, the differential about 9 miles per hour. That played very well against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the rhythm that the Cubs have, there's a rhythm when good teams start to get on that way that they play. They get the good starting pitching. They get a lead. They go to the bullpen. They add on runs late. Everybody slaps high fives at the end of the day. They feel good about themselves, and let's do it again tomorrow. And it feels like maybe the Cubs are starting to get into that rhythm a little bit as they start to try to defend that World Series title.
Of course, it's still early, but did the slow start surprise you at all for the Cubs?
It didn't completely surprise me. And look, a slow start is what Toronto's going through. A slow start is what Kansas City's going through a little bit.
San Francisco.
Yeah. I mean, the Cubs, they're treading water, and the good thing is nobody in that division was going to run away with anything. The Cardinals got off to a little bit of a slow start. The Reds look exciting early, but their pitching kind of faltering a bit. The Brewers are an exciting team, but I don't know they have the pitching to be able to do it. So, the Cubs, it took them a little while to get going. And sometimes you have to find that new motivation. I know that when we went to the World Series in 2000, that next year we were sluggish to start as well, because it was like, okay, we had that thing to prove last year. We were chasing the curse. We were chasing getting to the playoffs. Our manager had never been to the playoffs or been to a World Series. And when we got there, it was kind of like, okay, well, now what's the thing we're going to try to do? And for the Cubs, Joe Maddon, listen, he'll figure out what it is, what button to push as a team, what button to push for each individual to inspire them, to motivate them, to get them back on track again. And once they do, there will be no looking back for this Cubs team.